If you've ever heard about HPV, you might know it's related to things like pap smears, vaccines, and some types of cancer. But what is HPV really? And why do doctors make such a big deal about it? HPV stands for human papillomavirus, and despite its complex-sounding name, it's a surprisingly common virus, so common, in fact, that almost everyone who's sexually active will get it at some point in their lives, if they don't take preventive steps. There isn't a single HPV virus, but, rather, a family of more than 150 related viruses. Each one is given a number, which doctors call its type. Some types are mostly harmless. Others can cause a range of health issues, from warts to cancer. HPV is spread through skin-to-skin contact, and while it's most famous for being sexually transmitted, it can actually be passed anytime there's intimate contact involving the genital areas, mouth, or throat. This means you don't have to have penetrative sex to get HPV. Sometimes, it's even spread by sharing certain personal items, though that's much less common. You might not notice if you have HPV, and most people don't, because the majority of HPV infections go away on their own and never cause symptoms. The body's immune system usually takes care of things, quietly clearing the virus in a year or two. In fact, for most people, HPV is no big deal. You get it, you don't know it, and your body gets rid of it. But here's where things get tricky. Some types of HPV can stick around in the body and lead to more serious problems. These are generally divided into low-risk and higher-risk types. Low-risk types, for example HPV types 6 and 11, might cause genital warts, mole growths, or bumps in the genital area. While these can be uncomfortable or embarrassing, they aren't dangerous and can be treated. High-risk types are the ones that get the most attention, because they can trigger changes in the body's cells that turn into cancer over time. HPV types 16 and 18 are the biggest culprits here, and they're responsible for the majority of HPV-related cancers. In women, high-risk HPV is most commonly linked to cervical cancer, but for people of all genders, it can also cause cancers of the throat, mouth, anus, penis, vulva, or vagina. This all sounds a little frightening, but there's good news. Screening and vaccines have made a huge difference in preventing HPV's most serious consequences. Cervical cancer rates, for example, have dropped significantly in places where regular pap smears and HPV tests are common. These tests can catch cellular changes caused by HPV long before they develop into cancer, giving doctors and patients a crucial head start. And then there's the HPV vaccine. First introduced in the mid-2000s, the vaccine protects against the most dangerous HPV types, including 16 and 18, as well as some low-risk ones like 6 and 11. It's recommended for people as young as 11 or 12 years old before they become sexually active, but can be given up to age 26 or, in some cases, even later. The vaccine can't cure an HPV infection if someone already has it, but it can stop new infections from taking hold and dramatically lowers the risk of developing cancers caused by HPV in the future. There are a few myths and misunderstandings floating around about HPV. Some people think men don't need to worry about HPV, but that isn't true. HPV can affect everyone, regardless of gender, and the vaccine is recommended for everyone. Others worry that getting the vaccine could lead to health problems, but years of research from around the world have found the HPV vaccine to be very safe. So, what can you actually do about HPV? The best defense is vaccination, which is safe, effective, and long-lasting. Regular health screenings like pap smears and HPV tests for those with a cervix are also key to catching any problems early. Using condoms and dental dams during sex can reduce the risk but can't eliminate it completely. HPV can infect areas not covered by a condom. To sum up, HPV is one of the most common viruses around. In most cases, your body gets rid of it by itself without you even knowing. But for some, especially if the virus sticks around for years, it can lead to more serious health issues, including cancer. The combination of vaccination, regular screening, and safer sex practices together makes dealing with HPV much less intimidating than it might sound. HPV may be common, but thanks to scientific advances and good information, its most serious risks are now far less common than ever before. And that's a reason to feel hopeful.